Hello and welcome to the Be Strong Show. I am your host, Michelle Shirley, CEO, and of course, Chief Heart Officer for Be Strong International. Thank you so much for joining today. Quick announcement. Our back to school drive is on August 2nd. Listen, we need your support. We want kids to feel fully equipped when they go back to school this year, and we need your support. Every donation matters. Visit our website today at bestrongintl.org. Thank you so much for those of you who have donated and supported our back to school drive. We have so far packed over 800 book bags. We're thankful for your support. So listen, if you know a teacher right now, if you know a parent that needs to be watching, that is interested in learning more about an amazing school that I happen to be a part of and very close to my heart, I want you to let them know that they need to watch this show or this recording. I have today the privilege of sitting with the founder, Miss Shiren Rattigan of Colossal Academy. And let me tell you, my experience with you has been amazing. So let's get right into it. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor and a privilege to be in your space. So thank you for having me.
Yes. So first of all, my son, Jehu, was a part of your school. And, I found your school online like most people do, right? And I fell in love with this concept of these kids being outside and exploring and not the traditional brick and mortar setup and all of that. And I can tell you, when there were days that Jehu couldn't go to school because of either testing or some other, he was having a fit. And that speaks volumes to the fact of what you are doing in these kids' lives. So I just had to share that with you publicly, that you're amazing.
Thank you.
You're like the Black Miss Frizzle.
Yeah, I am.
Do you know Esther McCann from Metro?
Yes.
So we talked about, we're in the same fellowship, and she shared that, and we were just like, oh my God, we know her. She's amazing, right? So you are the talk of the town.
Well, thank you.
Around Miami, and I want you to know that. So let's get into it. Tell the audience a little bit about your background as a teacher, because I think that's an important piece that people need to know. You went from teacher, of course, in this journey to now having this amazing enterprise.
Sure. So before I do that, I have to give praise to my ancestral line, because I'm a 5th generation educator. My great aunt was a one-room schoolhouse teacher. And back in the day, you used to hire a teacher, like the town would hire a teacher, and then they would travel and come to you. And then when you got married, you could no longer teach, right?
What?
So that's my great aunt. My great grandmother, one-room schoolhouse teacher on a farm in Illinois, rural Illinois. My grandfather was superintendent of schools, rural Illinois again. My mother moved to the city, and she became a special ed teacher in a very low income, 90% free and reduced lunch district. And then I grew up cleaning chalkboards in the summer, helping put stickers on A papers, right? I grew up in the classroom, as well as that's what we talked about at all of our gatherings. Everybody in my family is some kind of connection to education, whether they're school nurses or psychologists or reading specialists. And so I decided I didn't want to do that, actually. I was like, my callings, I would like to make money. Right? I would like to own a house. I would like some things in my life. I want to not have to start over every generation, right? Like, I don't want every single one of our generations had to be like, okay, how are we going to buy groceries? How are we going to get a house? How are we going to get a home? Some of the, basics of being a teacher are just not provided with the profession and the sacred calling.
Yeah.
So I didn't do that. My journey back to education actually took me into, I got my master's in tourism management, actually, and my undergrad in engineering. So I was all over the place. But ultimately, your calling is your calling and will always bring you back to what you're supposed to be doing. So I would teach classes if I needed money, because that's just like a natural, easy trade. Oh, yeah. I could pull a class together, no problem. Right. I need some money. So I got pregnant, and then I was like, okay, I need a schedule that's actually going to work with me being a mother.
Right.
And I need to also know what's happening in education. I'll go into the classroom. So I started in public school because that's where you start as an educator. There's not really an alternative route for you to become an educator. So, to do your hours, you have to be in a public school. So I went back to my mom's school district and I taught there. But that also meant breaking up fights. I'm a middle school teacher through and through.
School.
Breaking up fights, high drama. I also was dealing with young women who we're near Chicago, so they would talk about R. Kelly parties all the time, right? These are 13-year-old girls, right? So there's other dynamics within the classroom that I was just not prepared for, and a lot of violence. And so I was like, okay, Shirley, in the private elite
sector,
expensive
there
schools,
will be nothing happening.
Everything will be
perfect.
Everything's funded. Nobody's hungry.
Right.
Nobody. And it's quite opposite. The education's not any better. It's the Rolodex that you leave with, right? But we were dealing with other issues of like neglect because like nannies would come to parent-teacher conferences. Like people weren't plugged in. This was a school that had a helicopter landing pad. This is how kids would travel. This was their mode of transportation. So I'm like, there's a disconnect there. Maybe Montessori. That's it. Montessori is it. They garden, they're outside.
Like, oh no.
Yeah. I'm like, this will be it. This is the holy grail. And that wasn't it either because the Montessori method hadn't really been developed for the age group that I love,
middle
which
school,
is middle and high. So I'm not sure if I was fired or I quit, but I left one day without a job. And I had to do something. So how, Colossal came to be, though, was some families contacted me and were like, can you just take a few of our, our students? We don't want to be in isolation, but we don't want to return to school. And this was during COVID.
Right.
And so I was like, I only have 4 students. We can do anything. What do you guys want to do? And so that's how the model was based up. You want to go to the museum? Let's go to the museum. Hop in the car.
Wait. But wait. So this confirms the magic school bus. I just want to say, because is there only not 4 characters or 5 kids on the show?
Right. I'm like, and a lizard,
and the lizard, yeah. I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah. So we would what do you want to do? What do you guys want to do? You want to go surfing? Let's go surfing. Okay, let's go surfing. And so it kind of grew out of that. We were online at first and we would meet once a week. And then the parents were like, could we meet twice a week? I'm like, sure. Great. And so we would meet twice a week. We found a Jamaican farm in Davie, Florida, which is, somewhat rural and agricultural. And so we were learning about farming. And so then they're like, could we have the school on the farm several days a week? And I'm like, sure, we can do whatever you want. It's just us, right? So it taught me that I can just be reflexive and responsive. And all I have to do is be really good for these families and the students. That's it. I don't have they wanted to learn drones. They told me on Tuesday, by Thursday I had drones. And then the teacher came in. I just have to be responsive to their needs and their wants. And I have to go ask my principal then to get approved. And then if we wanted to do drones, that would have to be the entire 8th grade class under this particular, and then those kids were gone. They're in high school.
Wow.
Like I would lose the interest in the moment. Yeah. And so,
So wait, you just hold on now. You just unpacked a whole lot of stuff that we can talk about, right? And I want to follow you into that piece of doing it and being responsive and innovative, right? You're going to have people that are watching today that are going to be like, oh, wait, but then how do you know that they're on par? Like the standards and all of these things and the metrics that need to be in place. What do you say to those people?
Yeah, so the beauty about staying micro and being small is we don't have passing periods that take 10 minutes, 15 minutes. The first 10 minutes of class would be like, you can't leave for the first 10 minutes. And then you're doing checking hall passes and people that are coming in late. All of that dead time you just don't have. So we have actually so much more time to get what we need to get done. I'm a math person, so I like numbers. I want to know. I'm promising you, your child's going to grow. Don't worry. We're also going to do these other things. But at the end of the day, we're a school. So we do an assessment. We do the map. I like to see on a national level where our students are. How are they placing with New York and California and Chicago, So that's important to me because at the end of the day, that's the contract between us. Your child's going to learn math, science, reading. Don't worry about that. But how we apply it is the part that is important, that the experience of what we're doing actually is into integration. We're not just learning to take a test and then get the answer and then it goes somewhere. We're learning to integrate and then ultimately to be a servant of that integration. So if we learn something about gardening, right? We learn a principle about gardening, then we can apply it. We've learned it, we've integrated it. And then how do we be of service? We teach our families and our friends and the people around us. We share our vegetables, right?
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. And yeah, Jehu really had a good time farming and talking about the heat.
Yeah, it's
but
hot.
learning too, and coming home with like the peas and like cooking. Oh my God, he loved the cooking experience. My 14-year-old is now a chef. Literally is so involved in the cooking process. It's amazing to see how independent he became as well during that process. Talk about the extracurricular things that you all do.
So it's
offer.
really about relevancy. What skills are they going to need moving into the future, right? That's from the elder standpoint of
Nice.
Of moms. I'm a mother of 3. Right. What do you need? How are you going to be successful? So that's like how we anchor it to make sure it's not just like
busy stuff,
busy or things that I feel like are not going to be permanent, right? Like I know there's streamers right now. That's cool. We can learn that. But what's the permanence in gaming or podcasting, right? So the afternoons, really I call them anchored classes, are in the morning. And then the afternoon, it's based on somewhat of a choice, like a collective choice. We've done chess, we've done archery, we surf and we skate. Students are learning to cook because we know that they're in that adolescent stage trying to show their independence. They want to show you they can be independent. They want to be autonomous. They want to be outside of the family. And that means trying new recipes. Means trying new things. And how it's been kind of represented or how we're seeing those symptoms or the manifestations of that need for independence can be unhealthy in adolescence. So we have to channel it and be like, oh, you think you could feed yourself? Right. Show me, So you got to teach them that, right? They're learning about financial. I want to make my own money. Okay, make your own money. How much did you make? How much does this cost? And for them to really integrate what it means to be independent, and their brains are designed to start to detach, right? And so we have to give them the foundations, and we've focused primarily on plant-based because it's ecologically better. We have a garden, and just for like long-term future, it's safer and better for the planet to be eating more plants.
So good, so good. I want to go back to something that you said where you mentioned, I'm assuming, but I heard the words sacred calling. I want you to really speak to that because I think there are people that might be watching that feel exhausted in the system or wherever they are. They feel overwhelmed. They don't necessarily have vision for their lives as far as what they want to do with this gift, this amazing gift of teaching that I don't know if the world really understands, right? The depth and the breadth of like what teaching kids can do, right? And it shows by the value that we place on teachers, right? I won't even get on the soapbox. You have way more than me. Talk about that sacred calling and what that means to you.
Yeah, I think there's been a shift to like this ed tech that we could just replace teachers with AI. No, we can't actually replace teachers with AI because there's something there. There's a sacred relationship between learner and teacher, and teachers know what I'm talking about. When that light up happens, when that click happens, when that movement in their being, when they see a child in their most prime focused beautiful place, what that does to us. That's like that was that's what we're here to do, right? So whether you're a math teacher and they're starting to connect the dots between the quadratic formula, whatever that looks like, but our calling is much deeper and richer than the content. Like AI can do the content. That's not but to watch someone's eyes and signals, to be able to read facial cues or when to push harder, when not to push harder, when to really ask them again or 3 times, are you sure? Are you sure? No, but really, are you sure? You know what I mean?
Right.
To be able to ask in different tones, also to repeat instructions over and over and over again, and knowing that they might not have caught it the first time. We might need to signal it. We might need to sing it. We might need to clap it, you know?
Yeah.
We are skilled professionals. And I think that we're trying to figure out within education, how much of that do we actually need? And I would say all of it. We need all of it. And so we need contact, we need community, we need connection, that is the foundation of safety, right? The fight or flight, are they safe? That it's not enough to just stick a child in front of a machine. And it's definitely not enough to put any adult in a classroom, that it's a craft and it's a vocation and it's a skill that we grow over years. And I just think teachers are the most amazing people on the planet. And the more I work with non-teachers, I'm like, I know 4 teachers that can run this whole business, right? That you guys are running with because we have to be. We're told what curriculum we have to use, and then we have to squeeze and make that work and then do our calling within that curriculum. We also are limited budgets, limited supplies. We're working, many of us, in a deficit and making magic and miracles happen. Like, if that's not a CEO, I don't know what is, you know? And so we have a lot of skill sets that we have to kind of figure out and piece together in many different ways. And I just think teachers are really, really incredible. I have so much respect for teachers.
Yeah. I'm listening to you and I'm looking in your eyes and I can see the emotion behind the richness of what you're saying. And it's almost like, I want the world to know this, right? It's so beautiful.
Thanks.
And
You're
I
making me
respect
cry,
it.
'cause
I'm
I
like,
love
oh my
teachers.
God, we're known for making people cry here.
I have my tissues ready. Just so everyone knows. I'm a crier naturally anyway, so you might get a couple of that, but yeah.
It's beautiful to hear. I do want to also highlight the fact that from the time I met you, and I think it was maybe 3 years ago, you have grown. You have grown by leaps and bounds, and it shows just the level of tenacity that you have for this work and how much people have come alongside you, from parents that I've seen on Class Dojo, right, to people behind the scenes doing their thing, but everybody coming in and believing in what you are doing that is flowing so beautifully right now. So I want you to speak to how you've been able to make this into an enterprise that other people can share in. Because I met one parent who now I think is running one of the sites you have.
That's right.
Yes.
She's a parent that now owns her own.
We were at an event and I was just like, well, you're what?
She owns her own Colossal. Yes. So again, I really believe in being a servant to my calling. So part of this, as much as I would love to have all the accolades and the crowns and the flowers, it's not me navigating this. I'm a vessel. I do, the calling of Colossal, the zeitgeist of Colossal. What has happened in the last 5 years is we've grown from being on a farm with no running water, no electricity, to 5 locations. We have Jacksonville, Miami, Fort Lauderdale has 2 locations now. We have an online location, or a hybrid, I should say, and then Mexico. We have a school in Mexico. So yes, it's just kind of grown, and it has to be people who understand that the human connection is the most important, that students come before profit, people before profit, right? Profit always comes. It'll come.
Yeah.
As long as you place your values in the right place. So we're just aligned in our pedagogies. We're aligned in how we see the future. Our slogan is "The future is bright" for a reason. Doesn't mean that there's not going to be turmoil, but what we're casting is at the end of all of this, right? In 1,000 years or however far we can cast, everybody's fed. Everybody has transportation. All people have education, like the same kind of future, right? So we started, Janet from Jacksonville was like, I want a Colossal. I'm like, I'll just give you the formula. You make your, and she's like, no, I want a Colossal. I'm like, do you really? So I did a lot of work in pretty Colossal Miami as well. I was like, I don't think you want to get into this. I'll just help you start.
Right.
And so I found there's richness in community.
Of course.
Like, why are we all continuing to build when there's already a formula, there's already a package, there's already Do you know how many times I've stayed up till 4 a.m. to work on my chroma code and figure out what exactly the color should be? We shouldn't all be wasting our energy doing that, right? And so to have already done things, already failed, I failed a lot and also had great successes, to already have something that's kind of packaged so that you don't need to do that work because there's so much work ahead of that, to just pick up. And then we also just talk and have better, like, what's working with you? What are you seeing? And how is that working in your classroom? Okay, I'm going to pivot too. Like, do you need to pivot? But also shared resources, being able to have like the same testing license, being able to have different brand licenses, and then access to news. And so just different things that we can share that just, it's more cost effective to do.
Wow, that's amazing. And I don't know if you thought that when you started, you'd reach this point, right? It was just like, I love the children. Right?
Right. And I could navigate before. What do you guys want to do? You want to play tennis? Let's go play tennis. Okay, great. Is everything done? Is your math done? No, okay. When your math is done, let's go play tennis. Okay, let's learn. So really, I just stayed centered in the youth. That will always be the center of what Colossal does. It's like, how do we make sure that they actualize? Right? How are we making sure that everything is connected, how they're centered, and then they can go be what they were born to do on this planet. So that's how we make decisions in everything we do. As the group has gotten larger, we've intentionally not gotten larger. We are like, we will cap at 40. That's it. There's demand there. The demand, that's not the problem.
Right.
I don't want to become a management system. I don't want to just be managing people. I want to do the sacred calling. And if you get too large, you're just managing people. And so we have to reframe.
You're speaking to me right now. You're speaking to me right now.
It's okay to just stay small and not in the mission, but in the numbers and who we can serve, because then we could do it well, versus mass and not
quality is down. Everything is down. Yeah, I've experienced. Yeah,
but we have to stretch to know, okay, we're going to be here, right? Like sometimes you have to go through that of like, okay, how far can this expand before it starts to lose what the intention, the value is.
So good. So good. Oh my gosh. I wish we could keep going. I want to switch quickly to our amazing Social Yaks game. I want the people who are listening to learn more about you. So we've randomly selected some cards so that our audience can get to know more about you. We're going to fly through it a little quicker than usual because I want to make sure that those who are watching today are really lifted and inspired by you. And I want you to speak. I'm going to give you a few minutes at the end to speak to some parents as well. So let's break the ice with our first polar bear level. So I want to take the blue card there and just read it aloud.
I love this.
And
great.
Then, let's see.
What's your favorite book? Okay, so I'm kind of boring. First of all, I'm dyslexic, so I read a lot of nonfiction because I need it to be. I would say my favorite book. Well, I'm going to say The Alchemist. But then I'm also like, I love Collection of Poems by Maya Angelou. I don't know. This is a really hard one.
It's hard, yeah.
But I do like a lot of nonfiction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll stay with that. No worries.
I didn't give a book
what you want.
Yeah. This is getting hard, y'all.
You gave the Alchemist. That's the first level now. That's the first level. So hold up. Okay. All right. Well, second level, we'll go into the yak level. Let's get a little bit more social. So
all right. Yakety yak. What's your definition of happiness? Ooh, I love this one. This one's great. Great.
Okay.
I think it's really balanced, right? I think for me, when everything is at harmony within the household, within me, first of all, it starts with me. Harmony within the business, harmony within the household, and happiness is really knowing for me that I'm doing what I came here to do. Like my calling is being fulfilled. So I think that's happiness for me.
Beautiful. And walking in that purpose. Your mom must be so proud.
She's incredible. She's an incredible inspiration. She's a special ed teacher. So anytime I'm like, what do I do? She's like, have you done a reading intervention plan? I'm like, okay. And so then she'll start pulling things, and she's like hardcore. So she really loves children, and she's my inspiration of why how to be better to make sure that we're serving all kids with all kinds of needs. So,
That's so cool.
yeah, she's incredible.
That's so cool. Okay. All right. We're going to dig deeper now. I don't know what this says, but
No
get ready
tears
to
here.
open up.
What do you fear to gain? Oh, what do you fear to lose? I mean, there's a beautiful quote that talks about our biggest fear is to be magnificent, right? To be so shiny and brilliant that we can't even recognize it. So sometimes I fall into that, right? I think we have the saboteur of like, you can't do that. Or I don't know, there's a word for it now. What are they calling it? The
limited beliefs or
limited beliefs, or it'll come to me. What do I fear to lose? My family. Yeah, that's it. Family is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. All right. So here's the last one. This is the wisdom level, the owl level. So you're going to read it and I'm going to share something about you.
Okay. If I were to receive an award for something, what would it be for?
Oh, I got to think. Darn. If you were to receive an award.
Oh, I'm asking you.
No. So you're saying it and I'm answering for you.
Oh, okay.
Because you've just opened up yourself for these
these
moments. I got to think of an award. Oh my God. Whew. Let me think. I would say Unstoppable Award.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I did not have the privilege of being with you in the beginning stages of what it was that you were building. I came in probably, midway point to see and watch what you and your team has done with my son.
Yeah.
And then to hear and be in a room with parents that were excited and honored and felt validated in exploring what they felt was best for their children just speaks volumes to the fact that you just kept going. And I'm sure that there were many ups and downs because running a business is not an easy feat. And yet you're here. I mean, from Harvard. I mean, this woman spoke at Harvard, y'all. We didn't even get into that today, right?
Yeah, thank you.
About the way in which you were changing education in kids' lives and sitting here with me. And I'm a product of what you've done. The Unstoppable Award goes to you.
Thank you. I will take it. I'll have my flowers on my way out.
I know, right?
No, thank you. That was really kind. Thank you for
Yes,
that.
of course.
insight.
Much
Thank you.
deserved. Much deserved.
Thank you.
So as we close out our show, I do want to have Ms. Shireen speak to those who are parents right now, right? Just thinking about what they want to do, with their kids right now and what current climate we're in right now and what they want to just take a leap of faith on, really, right? Concerning their kids' education. So I'm going to let you speak to them and just share.
So if you are a parent, whether you're in South Florida or anywhere that this is hitting, that's the beautiful thing about the World Wide Web. And you feel like something's just not right, you need something different, and you're afraid, I'm going to urge you, whether it's with Colossal or somewhere else, or it's something that you invent yourself, right? I'm going to urge you to don't stop fighting. That intuition was given to us for a reason. If something's not feeling right about the way your child's education is going, you're right. So don't doubt that and continue to look and continue to fight and be the advocate and the anchor for your child. So that's the first thing I want to just really implore and beg. Please don't stop trying. What we're doing currently is our locations are full. So what we've been able to do is to go online. And we know that being online can be super isolating, and it's actually a reflection of kind of the workforce moving into the future. We're going to be remote, right? People are going to be working from their homes. But what I'm knowing is that young people need to get together. So our online school is meeting with live teachers because we believe in the connection and the power of community and real live people. And Monday through Thursday. And then we meet up to do a service project, or maybe go surfing, or maybe the students will decide. And so we're building this next thing. And if this is something you want to co-author with us, we're super excited to continue to work with 6th to 12th graders on the online sphere.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for that. Well, this wraps up our show. Thank you, Miss Shireen,
Thank
for
you.
being on. I am hoping that many teachers and parents will hear this incredible message today from you and be inspired in their child's education and thinking innovatively and creatively about what they want to do next concerning their child's future, because the future is bright.